Shalom everybody, it's Kalela Kelly, your Irish Jew, and you may know that when you're a Jew you deal with a lot of information happening at the United Nations. It's not exactly a friendly place for Jews or Israel. It is a place that hails the likes of China and Iran and Qatar and other violators of human rights, and it tends to get them all together in a big gang, and they always go on voting rampages against Israel. Without a doubt, 9 times out of 10, in fact 10 times out of 10, there's always something going on about Israel. They are obsessed with Israel. They don't look at their own faults or their own issues within their own countries. They just tend to look at Israel. Israel is the scapegoat, the kicking ball, the one everyone loves to hate at the UN. And here is the lovely lady, the lovely Francesca Albanese. There she is, looking beautiful with her Italian fashion sense. It's true, she looks great, but she's a bit of a rotten person. Example, Noah Hillel, the Israeli guy at the UN Watch, he goes into the United Nations, which is basically like a big group of terrorist lovers at this stage. And he goes into the United Nations and sits there and says, hey guys, I know you love to attack Israel and you're obsessed with that, but here are all the things that are wrong with your country. I'm going to get a list. And then he literally gets a list and reads it out to them, and they all just smirk. And Francesca Albanese, pro-Palestinese, she loves to smirk. She absolutely loves to smirk. Whenever any injustices against Israel are mentioned, for example, when October 7 was mentioned, she was smirking in the session with the United Nations. It's really, honestly, just such a cesspool of Jew hate at the moment. I'm not conflating the two, they just freaking hate Jews. It's so obvious. And very far left-wing and Islamist at this stage, and then you've got China on board. God knows what China's moral standards are. Who knows? Anyway, she says that basically she's not going to stop fighting. Screw the United States. They don't care, and she's just going to keep going on. So she's in Bogota in Colombia, another place of human rights. If there's a place that's pro-human rights, it's Colombia. And starting on Tuesday, it included China, Spain, and Qatar. No conflict of interest there, right, guys? It came at an existential hour for Israel and the Palestinian people. I refute that claim. It's not an existential hour for Israel. Israel is going to continue to grow stronger and is going to continue to prevail because it is strong and intelligent, and yes, it has the support plain of the United States, but also because there are so many deeper historical reasons why Israel will succeed. It's got the history to the land, it's got the connection, it's got the Bible, it's got the ethnicity and the experience of thousands of years of jurisprudence and being in society and working with culture and with morality and with laws. And these bastards at the UN have literally nothing to stand on. They will dissipate. I wouldn't be surprised if in the future the United Nations literally dissipates, because it's a cesspool. It's an absolute hypocritical cesspool. And we have to ask Mrs. Francesca Albanese why her cohort, why the United Nations employees at the agencies were helping Hamas hide hostages. She needs to answer that, and she hasn't, because she's a vile anti-Semite. Anyway, they all want to take measures in support of Israel ending its unlawful occupation of Palestine. Is she talking about Gaza? Is she talking about the West Bank? What's going on? What's happening? The International Criminal Court, or the ICJ, said in its advisory opinion that Israel's security concerns do not override the principle of the prohibition of the acquisition of territory by force, and called on it to end its occupation as rapidly as possible. The UN member states had an obligation not to render aid or assistance in maintaining the situation created by Israel's illegal presence in the occupied Palestinian territory. So basically another group of Jew haters trying to show that they hate Israel. They want any and all occupation to end, and they want to pave a new way forward for the Palestinians. And it's so out of touch with where I think the future of Israeli politics is heading. You can't deny that there is a voice in the Israeli life, in the Israeli political habitat, that is pushing towards a third temple, that is pushing towards a country that is proud of its history and will stop explaining itself. No more two-state solution stuff. No more giving land back in exchange for peace, because it hasn't worked. Einstein said, when you keep doing the same thing and expecting different results, you will keep being disappointed. Like, that's the essence of stupidity. But that seems to have been the political theme or strategy of most governments when they come and deal with Israel. And I think people like Ari Fleischer and some other rabbis and settlers, they are pulling Israel towards a future that is strong, proud, grounded in its history of being warriors and fighters, rather than the weakened and depressed psychology that has afflicted mostly Ashkenazi Jews from Europe. And fair enough, like when your people have been persecuted every single generation and chased out of countries and then put in camps and gassed to death, you do tend to become a little bit suspicious and fearful of the world around you, and you do tend to perhaps grow some neuroses around that, right? It's no accident that Jews are prevalent in psychoanalysis and psychology and so on. And on that side note, there is a joke that the Irish are the only people who are immune to psychology. I think Freud said that, or psychoanalysis. And that's, yeah, that makes sense to me too. Another plane, oh my God, it's plane hour here, guys. I'm so sorry. But Albanese, this Italian woman, says that the UN Charter and universal human rights instruments must remain everyone's compass. What a load of crap. A compass is that you have a north star of truth and morality, and you try to guide your actions across the big sea of life towards that northern star. And this woman is part of an organization that has no moral compass, that was more than happy for its employees and agency arms to aid and abet terrorists, to support and cover up for terrorist-related activities in schools and in mosques and in hospitals. I mean, it's absolute bullshit that these people think that they are the moral compass. She says, I trust that more states will align their policies with these fundamental principles as we move forward in this existential hour. Oh, the drama. Oh, the heightened language of the left-wing narcissist. Oh. And of course, she and all the other white saviors are going to come bounding in. They're going to come bounding into the Mediterranean and free those little brown oppressed people. Hey, Francesca, I'd like to point out that your ancestors, the Romans, are the reason that there were Jews in Europe, are the reason that there wasn't a state of Israel concurrently and continuously for the last 2,000 years, because you guys, you Romans, you Italians, kicked the Jews out, most of them, not all of them. There's always been a continuous presence of Jews in the region. But again, the historical spiritual irony that an ancestor of the Roman Empire, one of the biggest colonizing empires in history, is now claiming that they want to decolonize and de-empirify. Empirify? Yeah. They want to free the brownies, in other words, so that they can be the white saviors. What hypocrites. The hypocrisy stinks, as anyone who knows history would know. Yeah. Anyway, she just bangs on that she's this amazing person. She's done no wrong. Her hair's lit. She's wearing great scarf, great clothes. I won't deny that. She has Italian style. Fabulous, fabulous. But no morality. No morality. And it's really hypocritical when other countries try to wade in and tell Israel how to be moral. They try to tell the people that received the Torah, received the word and the communication with God himself, and then gave it to humanity. We have these left-wing nutjobs trying to tell the Jews, the chosen people who have been subjected to the Torah, the mitzvot, the laws, the rituals, the ceremonies, the expectations, the boundaries that you have to follow when you follow mitzvot. She's trying to tell them, the Jewish people, how to be moral. It's laughable. It's at this stage just theatre and pantomime, and again, like, they're just not going to fix any problems. As long as you keep whitewashing and overlooking the crimes of the Palestinian Authority, the crimes of Hamas, the crimes of Palestinian leadership, or any of the Arab leadership from any of the other surrounding countries, they have screwed it up every single time. And at some point, it's like, you Europeans can keep propping this shit up. I mean, you can keep giving your money and supporting this ethos of interventionism and classified as morality. You can keep telling yourself that you're doing the right thing here and keep blasting Israel, and you'll just keep losing. And it's like, okay. But yeah, it's like a den of vipers trying to tell people how to avoid getting bitten by a snake or a viper. Like, it literally is just hypocrisy on steroids. So anyway, I wish everybody luck, and Francesca Albanese, horrible woman, vile anti-Semite, great fashion. Okay, ciao.